geography facts, but they get increasingly more fascinating. If you took all of the countries with the word democratic in their name and ranked them based on their democracy index, you'll find that they tend to rank relatively low with the exception of Sri Lanka and Timor-Leste, and a few of them like DRC, Laos, and North Korea are ranked the lowest 5% in the world. It's almost as if these countries are trying to compensate for something or trying to cover up any ongoing humanitarian issues in their borders. There's a depression in Ethiopia called the Danakil that is often referred to as the cradle of humanity by paleontologists, as ancient human fossils have been discovered here, but it's also one of the hottest places in the world, with record high averages of 121 Fahrenheit or 49 degrees Celsius. If you were to measure the distance between Brazil's most northern point to its most southern point, it would be longer than its distance to Canada, but oftentimes people underestimate the size of Brazil due to the Mercator projection, which makes countries near the equator seem a lot smaller than they are. The southernmost tree in the world is on an island in Chile where Cape Horn is, and it's actually not a single tree but a clump of Magellan's Beach, and they call it the tree on the bottom of the world, and they look like they're flat because of the constant wind in the area. Africa has the highest number of twins per capita out of all the continents, and it's specifically high in Benin, Nigeria, and Togo, and sociologists claim that this is due to their history with the Yoruba ethnic group. They claim that the Yoruba people's diet, which includes plants with a tuberous root, increases the likelihood of women releasing more than one egg at a time. Point Nemo is the most remote place on the planet, and the closest hint of human life is 1,600 miles away, and it's 2,600 miles away from Chile. In fact, astronauts in space would be closer to Point Nemo than the closest human on Earth, and it's so isolated that many countries have designated it as a spacecraft cemetery. This means that many countries crash old spacecrafts into this area as it's too far to affect any other nations. To make it even stranger, in 1997, scientists even found a mysterious sound deep in the ocean near Point Nemo, and no one found an explanation for these sounds. The longest fence in the world is in Australia, and it's called the Dingo Fence. It's designed to protect the sheep out of the southeastern part of Australia, and it stretches 3,488 miles. It has been pretty successful in keeping dingoes out of the southeast. However, scientists have found that this fence has had cascading effects on the ecosystem. For example, the absence of dingoes has led to a higher number of kangaroos, and they have been nibbling away at sensitive plants, leading to a lack of biodiversity. Nauru is the smallest island in the world, and more than 70% of their 10,000 residents are obese, which makes it the most obese country in the world. The average body weight is 220 pounds, 100 kilograms. This is mostly due to the fact that most of the land is non-arable, and it's all because of the extremely destructive practice of phosphate mining. The mining has ravaged 90% of the land, and it's led to the country relying on processed food high in fat and sugar, thus leading to their heavy body weights. One of the world's most interesting country shapes is the country of Gambia, which follows along the Gambia River. This oddly shaped country is a byproduct of colonialism and disputes between the French and the British, who were interested in finding an easy route inland. The story goes that a British ship went up the river and shot cannonballs on each side, claiming the land within the range of the cannonballs. However, the more likely story is that a commission set up the borders, and a British ship often intimidated local resistors by bombarding towards their towns. If we zoom in on the border between Belgium and the Netherlands, there's a complicated situation with an enclave called Bar-le-Hertog and Bar-le-Nassau, where portions of Belgium are separated from the mainland and surrounded by the Dutch due to land disputes dating back to the medieval times. The situation is so complicated that you can switch back and forth between two countries 14 different times by taking a particular route, and the distinction between the houses are marked by the flags of the two nations, and oftentimes the borders are distinguished by markings on the ground. The islands of Kiribati are one of the least populated countries of the world, and it's the only country in the world to be in all 4 hemispheres. Its islands stretch east and west at a distance about 4,000 kilometers or 2,500 miles, which is just as wide as Australia. The islands are the reason why the international dateline was changed to its weird shape in 1995, as it wanted to accommodate all of the islands to be under a single day. Due to the recent rising sea levels, which has led to the disappearance of some of their islands, they bought land from Fiji as insurance so that it can act as a haven for potential refugees. Big shout out to all the following people who contributed to the video with their comments, and if you have a geography fact that you would like to be featured, please share it in the comments below, and check out the website in the description for geography and history posters.